Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for watching. Hope you're all doing well and staying safe out there. As I'm filming this video, it is 2 days after the election and there's still no winner. So I'm sure this is going to be a controversial one, but one thing to keep in mind, no matter what happens, no matter who wins, this is still the United States of America and this is still the greatest country on earth. So I think that's important to keep in mind because we're all lucky to live here and one president is not going to change how great this country is. So with that being said, something seems a little fishy. No, but we're not going to talk about the election today. We have something fun to do in this video. So one thing that we have not done enough of here on the channel is body armor testing. I've done a couple videos, like way back in the day. I got an old expired like soft body armor vest and we shot that thing up quite a bit, but I've really never got like new body armor to test here on the channel. So when this company reached out and offered to send me this to test on video, I jumped all over the opportunity. So this is a level 3A bulletproof vest. This was sent by Safe Vest, link in the description below. This is not a sponsored video. They're not paying me to make this video or nothing, but I do appreciate them sending this out because like I said, these things are really fun to shoot and it's not something that I get the opportunity to do very often. So I do appreciate that. But for those of you that don't know, level 3A body armor is rated to stop basically pistols up to a 44 Magnum and some shotgun loads, I believe. But where it gets interesting is oddball calibers and modern ammunition that is not factored into those standards when they make these vests. So there's absolutely handgun and ammo combinations that will defeat level 3A body armor. Now, since these body armor tests have been done to death on YouTube, instead of showing you guys the same old stuff and just coming out here and shooting it with calibers that's rated to stop, I thought we would bring out a couple that it's probably not rated to stop and see how much this thing can take before we defeat it. Let's do it. All right, just to show you guys a closer look at this thing before we start ventilating it, you can see the actual vest itself. It's got big pockets on the front and on the back, and then we have Velcro straps that wrap around the side and over the shoulder straps as well. And then the armor panels themselves are actually Velcroed inside the vest as well. So like I said, I'm not a body armor expert, but to me, this feels really good. It definitely feels a lot better than the last one that I had. It's soft and flexible like 3A body armor should be, but it definitely feels dense and really heavy duty as well. So the one thing I like about these over like the big plate carrier rigs is how incognito you could be with something like this. Whereas with those, it's obvious what you're doing, but with this, I could put like a coat on or something over the top of this and no one would even know that I'm wearing 3A body armor. So, all right, let's destroy this thing. All right, we're gonna start with a couple regular calibers just to see that it does what it's supposed to do, and then we'll move on to some of the more interesting stuff. So first up, we got the 9mm out of the Glock 17. All right, our 9mm hit right there on the top of that front pocket. And then looking at the backside, you can see it swelled up just a little bit, but definitely did not go all the way through. All right, 40 Smith & Wesson out of the Glock 23. All right, our 40 Smith & Wesson hit right there. Looking at the backside, again, a little bit of swelling, definitely no pass through. All right, I was gonna do the 45 ACP, but we're running out of time, so we'll skip the 45 and go straight to the 357 SIG. This is a fast moving little bullet, so I think it is rated to stop this though. Loud, really loud. So I realize you guys probably can't see much when I show you the back of the vest, but I'm doing the best that I can without taking it all the way off every single time. So I'm sure you take my word for it, but here is where our 357 SIG hit, right there, just below our 9mm. And if you look behind the vest, you can see, put a pretty big hole in our box right there. That would definitely hurt to get hit with, and it swole the vest up like crazy, but that 357 SIG definitely did not pass all the way through. All right, next up, we got the 10mm. I'm really sorry about that glare, guys, but there's nothing I can do about it. This is the only way that I can shoot safely, so let's see what the 10mm does. All right, the 10mm hit right there, just below our 357 SIG. And it actually didn't damage the box quite as much, maybe because there was already a hole there. And once again, no pass through. So far, it's looking pretty good. All right, we're going up to the big dog now. This is the 44 Magnum, 240 grain hollow point. So this is apparently the biggest caliber that 3A body armor is rated to stop. Let's see if it does. I knew that was gonna happen. All right, our 44 Magnum hit right there on the bottom. You can see it's definitely a bigger hole than any of the others. We're starting to mess up our box here. If you look at the back, we cut our target in half, but there is absolutely no pass-through on the back of that vest. So it did indeed stop the 44 Magnum, which is what this vest is rated to stop. So just from seeing the results so far, I would absolutely trust this to do what it's supposed to do. So I've got a couple 9mm to try. I've had these forever. They're called the Devastators, and you can see on the box it says detonating tip, works in any firearm. And if you look at the round itself, you can see that red, almost looks like wax on the tip of it there. Now, I've tried these in a couple different videos. I've shot them into ballistic shell. They did absolutely nothing, and I haven't really got them to do anything special. So we're gonna see if they're armor piercing. I doubt it, but let's see. I was trying to put that one on the left side and I went too far to the left, so we'll try it again. So that was my first shot right there, and you can see how far over that is. Obviously it went through the vest, but there's no body armor there. So the second one hit right there, dead center, and definitely nothing passed all the way through. So if you ever see those detonating tip 9mm rounds online, don't buy them. I think it's just a ball round with wax on the tip of it because they don't expand in ballistic shell, they don't pierce body armor, or they don't really do anything other than cost a bunch of money. Let's try a 12 gauge mini slug. I have no idea if 3A body armor is rated to stop shotgun loads or not, but we're gonna find out. All right, mini slug. That hit so hard. If that stopped that, I'll be shocked, honestly. Mini slug. All right, well, I'll just show this one to you guys on the ground. Since it fell, you can see where a mini slug hit right there, obviously. And if I flip it over to the back, you can see how swollen that body armor is in there. But once again, no complete pass through. It smacked it so hard, it sounded like it went all the way through, but 12 gauge mini slug did not go through. All right, full size 12 gauge shotgun slug. This is a 1 ounce Tomahawk Clever, I believe. It's going 1,600 feet per second. Quite a bit more powerful than the mini slug we just shot, so. And it hit right next to it. So right there is where our 12 gauge slug went in, right next to the mini slug. You can see we're starting to put quite a few rounds in a small concentrated area there. And if I flip it over, first of all, you can see how swollen that vest is. It's probably 10 inches thick at this point. And you'll notice a little tear on the back of the vest right there. But that slug did not come out the other side. It just kind of ripped a little incision on the back of our vest right there. But it absolutely did capture that 12 gauge slug. And I can show you that because right here is where it impacted. And if you look at the back of our box, there's definitely no hole from a 12 gauge shotgun slug. So it did stop our 12 gauge shotgun slug. Although I'm at like point blank range, so that would probably still break every bone in your chest, but it didn't go all the way through. Also keep in mind that we hit that with 2 shotgun slugs back to back about 1 inch apart, so I'm not really surprised that it ripped like that. All right guys, I got 2 rounds left and I think both of these have about a 90% chance of getting through that vest. So keep in mind it's not rated to stop either of these. Everything that this vest is rated to stop, it has stopped flawlessly. So next up, we have the 22 TCM 9R. This is a conversion kit for the Glock 17. Shout out to Turtle Lake Tactical, as always, for sending this out to me. But this round is going about 2,000 feet per second, and it's a little 22 caliber bullet. So this is like body armor's worst nightmare. I shot this at the other 3A body armor vest that I had, and it zipped right through it every single time. A lot of people compare this to like a poor man's 5.7. So if you don't know, the 5.7 does defeat soft body armor like this. By the way, I flipped the vest around so we have a fresh panel on the back. We're no longer shooting the front. All right, get ready for the fireball. An absolute cannon. So I know I got a lot of 22 TCM fans that watch the videos because every time I use this gun in a video, I hear from you guys in the comments. So put your guesses down below if you think this made it through. I definitely think it did. All right, here is where it went in. Right there, you can see that tiny little 22 caliber hole from the 22 TCM. And right off the bat, there's no swelling on the vest. So that leads me to believe it probably zipped straight through this thing. Let's see. Okay, there's no hole on the box. And it looks like, let's take this off. That round did not go through that vest. Not even close. So just to show you guys again, there's our entrance hole right there. If you look at the back, it stopped the 22 TCM. Holy crap, I gotta say, I am surprised by that. Like I said, I've shot this at soft body armor before, and it defeated it every single time. And in those same videos, I was hitting that body armor with the 357 SIG and 44 Magnums, and it was stopping those no problem. But the 22 TCM ripped right through it. Right here, this one did stop our 22 TCM. All right, y'all, I got one more round, and I would bet all the money in the world that this is gonna zip right through that vest. Because if you watched the last video that I made, it went through the bulletproof glass that literally nothing except rifles was getting through. But then again, the 22 TCM came really close to getting through that glass, and our vest stopped that no problem. So I don't know, but I'm leaning towards it will get through. So this is the 10mm Underwood Extreme Penetrator. This is a bad little mother. That's a snappy gun if you don't hang on to it. All right, our 10mm Underwood Extreme Penetrator hit right there, dead center. We look at the box. That is an impact. Man, that would suck to get shot with. Let's go ahead and just take this thing off the box. It stopped it. That is pretty cool. So you can see the big knot that it put in our vest right there. Again, just to show you the front, to show you that this is the same side of the vest. There's our 10mm penetrator right there. And on the back, nothing. Wow. Again, here's another look at the box. I saw that and thought that it definitely went through, but when you look at the vest, it didn't. That is pretty cool, man. I don't know how these rounds, well, that round is defeating something like that 2 or 3 inch bulletproof glass, and then this soft 3A level body armor is stopping it, because like the 44 Magnum on the bulletproof glass wasn't even a quarter of the way through, like didn't even come close. But the Underwood Extreme Penetrator zipped straight through and out the other side no problem, and the 22 TCM 9R was like 3/4 of the way through, came really close. But man, seems like the body armor has no problem with it. All right guys, so we skipped ahead a couple days, and I came back out here today because I want to try a few of these one more time. So as I'm sure most of you noticed, the cardboard box that we were using was getting pretty beat up there towards the end, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be curious if the soft backstop was allowing the vest to move and capture bullets that otherwise would have went through. And I'm curious about that myself. Personally, I don't think it's gonna make a difference, because when you watch the slow-mo, you can see the vest capturing the bullet long before it starts to move into the backstop. But recently I have seen videos of 10mm Extreme Penetrators piercing straight through 3A body armor. So I don't wanna leave any questions with this, because if it does stop these, that's obviously important to know. So here's our vest. You can see we have it Velcroed around there, and in the middle I have a 60-pound sandbag, and it is super dense. Really solid, as you can see, much more solid than our cardboard box. So let's see what happens. All right, 10mm Extreme Penetrator, attempt number 2. And once again, I want to thank Turtle Lake Tactical for sending out the Glock 20 that we're gonna use for this. I don't remember if I thanked them the other day, but of course I appreciate the support that I get from them, so visit the website and help me thank them. All right, let's see if it gets through. Real quick before we shoot this, I'll just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Yes, I have been working out. I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering why I look so buff lately, and that's why. Transparency is important to me here on the channel. Let's see. All right, so our 10mm Extreme Penetrator hit right there, and I can see sand on the table already, so it definitely punctured our sandbag, and you can see there is a hole, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the bullet went all the way through. So I'm gonna dig around here and see if the bullet just split the fabric on the back of the vest, or if it actually went all the way through and into our sandbag. So I hope you guys can see this. It is a nightmare to try and dig out of there, but that right there is our 10mm Underwood Extreme Penetrator. So I'm gonna dig it out, but it looks like it just hit so hard that it came this close to getting through and punched through the back of the vest. And when I first looked at it, I saw a big chunk of the fabric like hanging out of the back, but there was no hole in it. It just looked like a big golf ball hanging out the back of our vest. So it hit it hard enough to puncture that through the backside and put a hole in our sandbag, which these sandbags, if you poke them pretty hard, they will rip. It's like a canvas type of material. So that's why I said I wasn't sure if it went all the way through, but I'm gonna dig this bullet out all the way, and it did hit pretty close to another round. So maybe I'll try it one more time and see if it doesn't rip the fabric like this one did. All right, so there's our Underwood Extreme Penetrator. You can see some of the fabric from the vest still caught in the grooves there. Give you guys a look at the nose of that bullet, completely undamaged. I mean, it looks like it did before I shot it. And then there is the spot where I dug it out of the vest. So that is about as close as you could get to making it through without actually making it all the way through the vest. This vest is not rated to stop the Underwood Extreme Penetrator, so I would not use it for that, but it did stop it for me. And attempt number 3 with the Underwood Extreme Penetrator. So I want to try to get this one a little bit further away from the other bullet impacts. That last one was like 2 inches away from another round that I shot, so. All right, so same thing, I ripped this a little bit. Definitely a big hole out the back, and you can see we're actually leaking sand from our top hole there. But that right there is the impact zone from our last one. And once again, I can feel the bullet right there in the vest. And I want to try to give you guys a look inside here. You can definitely see that there is no hole right there. So the force is just so dramatic that when it punches the vest, it's ripping through the back of the fabric, which obviously would probably break every bone in your sternum. But the bullet itself is not getting through the armor, and that's what matters. So we're gonna see how close we came here. Again, you guys can see, I mean, still no hole there. There we go, boom. Okay, so this one actually flattened out. That is crazy, y'all. Look at that. So the sandbag actually did a little number on the Extreme Penetrator this time. Give you guys a closer look at it right there. Cool. So I don't know, I mean, I would say 2/3 of the way through that vest before it stopped that bullet. I'll go ahead and give you guys a closer look. You can see right there, definitely no penetration. That's a little more than half of it. It looks like right about here is where it stopped it. Yep, right there. So that is the last panel that has any damage to it, and you can see, I would say 2/3 is a good estimation. So again, I would not count on this vest to stop an Underwood Extreme Penetrator, but so far we're 3 for 3 and it stopped it every time. That is impressive. All right, everybody, I'm running out of daylight quick, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. As far as this bulletproof vest goes, I'm impressed. I'm definitely impressed. When I saw the shotgun slug rip a little bit of the fabric on the back, I thought, uh-oh, we're gonna get through this thing with some of these pistols, and I fully expected to anyways. That wouldn't have been a knock on the vest because those rounds are, you know, some of these bulletproof vests are not rated for stuff like that. And again, I'm not a body armor expert. I'm sure there's other videos showing whether or not standard 3A body armor stops those 2 calibers. I really don't know. I just expected them to go through because of what I've seen in the past and shooting both of them, you know, quite a bit, especially the 22 TCM. I've shot that round 100 times, and I've shot 9mm Extreme Penetrators through a lot of stuff, and they just penetrate stuff like crazy. Stuff that normal 9mm or 10mm rounds would not even come close. So I expected them to go through. They didn't. I'm impressed with the vest. If you want it, you can visit the link in the description box below. Visit the website. Again, I want to thank them for sending it out. This video was a blast to make. It's always fun to play with body armor and, you know, trying to get through stuff with bullets. I always enjoy that. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please let me know down in the comments below. And as always, hit that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.